Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I download all of the data to do the churn report from HubSpot and ChartMogul, combine it. There will be part of this video that are sped up as I'm waiting for data and working on cleaning up the data before I can present it. So I go to HubSpot, I download this ChartMogul report that I have created. It just simply shows all of the deals in HubSpot that have canceled. This is because of how Portal syncs over data to HubSpot. I really need to download everything to be able to do a proper analysis. So we'll go ahead and export this. Export it as an Excel. This will take some time to download. But then I come into ChartMogul. Typically I run the gross MRR churn rate report. However, there's an issue with some fields not exporting. I have a support ticket in the ChartMogul for that. So for now, I'll just come to the customer churn rate, go to churn MRR, click on March, and export this data down here. Now this will download some additional data, but that is fine. We can clean it out. Here I'm cleaning up the data from ChartMogul to be able to get the information that I need. This is the subscription ID number right here. As you can see, ChartMogul exports the data in negatives. And so we have to really clean this up to make it match up with the HubSpot and Portal data, as well as you may encounter duplicates. So it really does need to be cleaned up. So what I do here is I bring in this data from HubSpot. So I will use the subscription ID, come to my HubSpot, use it here, grab the MRR from HubSpot, and bring that down. And then this way I can see, in some cases, if it's missing from HubSpot, and if so, why, and other issues like that. So next I simply filter this out. I like to sort my duplicates so I can see what is going on. And then I just confirm that the number here matches with what this should be. So again, this will show a negative and no decimals. So the last two are not real, or decimals, I should say, not necessarily not real. But it's also negative. So what I like to do is I like to take this data, and if it matches, I will just bring it over here. And that way I know that I've checked it and then it's done. So I just go down and make sure that all of these numbers match from ChartMogul to HubSpot. And again, HubSpot is bringing the data from Portal. So for example, I found one here that doesn't match, so I'll have to check this one later. Now when I get to the ones here that are duplicate, I like to then make sure that the sum of these two are this amount here. And then I simply, again, just bring this data over and delete this. And I do that for every single one. Now anything left in this column, I can research and figure out why they don't match with what HubSpot is saying. So this one is showing up in ChartMogul as expired, but it is actually an active subscription. Same here. And this simply could be because they reactivated before ChartMogul could show that they have reactivated. This is probably a test account. Yeah, so this is not a real subscription. So this is showing 309 that we lost. MRR is showing 289. But this could be that, yeah, their bill may have decreased at some point before they canceled. So this will show the transaction amount, which is correct. We should be showing that. But we do make a note of that. And then same here, MR decreased. However, we were billing more in this case. This amount, this one, 118 and 59 don't even match up what we've billed or anything. So this is something that I would highlight for the portal team to review. So now that we have this data cleaned up, we can now attach it to here, to the HubSpot data. So I always do the HubSpot MRR and the Chart Mogul MRR just to confirm that they are correct. There we go. So final thing for me to clean up here before porting it over to Google Sheets is just getting rid of the data that doesn't matter. So what I do here is I make sure that everything that Chart Mogul had is there. So as you can see, we have these amounts here, and then these don't have anything in Chart Mogul. So first I highlight these. I also make sure to bring these in because they appear in the Chart Mogul reporting. And then I also make sure to grab anything where the cancellation date was listed as March, just to make sure I don't miss anything while double checking everything. So I highlight those green as well. And now anything that is not green essentially can be removed. So just do another double check and make sure. Okay, good. Lastly, I double check here for any duplicates. We should not have any duplicate deals. And if we do, I look at why it could be a duplicate. And sometimes this simply means, like for this subscription here, if we look at in HubSpot, it could be listed there twice because of the company, because it has two companies. things like that. So we simply just delete any duplicates. Additionally, if there's any switch deals or old deals, you can see that here. This one was canceled in March, but this deal that was like from before from Salesforce switched over. So we just get rid of those old deals. And again, so some of these are exact duplicates. Just remove those. Perfect. So now this is my information that I can take over to Google Sheets for the cancellation sheet. So then I add the month as customer field, and all I'm doing is using this formula here, dated if P3, which is when the first close one date, to G3, which is the cancellation date, just to calculate in here what are the months that this was a customer. Let me just drag it down. I fix some of the headers just to make it easier. Okay. Highlight the ones that had issues. And then we will still have some here that also have issues. For example, we do show still some that were canceled in HubSpot, but not in ChartMogul. And so we just need to figure out why. And in some cases, now these are the gross deals, or that they have switched, for example. So it makes sense that they're not there. So if we look at these that switched to another plan, we see here that they're not in ChartMogul. Switch, 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 switch. So that's fine. However, we see that this one is, and it could have been on that gross report, but I just make a note of that. Switch to another. so that we know that these don't technically count towards the gross MR or the gross churn. Then we see why these may not be here. Now these are not show, even though they have canceled in March, their next bill date are these dates. So they won't show up until those reports. So that makes sense while they're not in this Churn Mogul report. So we can just remove those once we've confirmed that. However, and then we may have the opposite where this is showing in HubSpot that it did cancel for March, but it's not showing up in Churn Mogul. So we just need to highlight that to figure that out. So it's April. This one will be April. This one will be July. And this will be April. And so we just need a reason as to why these are not in Churn Mogul. Either they need to be cleaned up or this is correct for another reason. Then I check for any opt-outs in here as well. So see, these have opted out. And it's just good to highlight these and check these so that, again, the portal team can just confirm that these have been removed from their gross churn. And that is it. And this is ready to go. If you guys have any questions, let me know.